All right, so let's talk about Drake, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, the beef that never ends. So Rick Ross just did an interview with Hovain, who used to manage Troy Ave. He says that he sat down with Drake to talk about it. They didn't talk about anything negative. It got to the money quickly, but they did squash this beef. I don't even really know what my question here is, to be honest with you.
Hey, salute to my nigga Rose. I love watching Rick Ross. No. I like watching his interviews because he says a lot, but he say nothing. He means nothing.
He said they wanted to touch 9 figures. Can you
Yeah. I mean, listen, well, he also said at one point in an old interview that his definition of success is wearing sandals and owning 10 Burger Kings. So success for him is different.
Okay.
Is Burger King still successful?
I don't know, but that's what he said. It sounded good at the time. He's a fat nigga. Fat niggas know where the food is at and where the bread is at. Anyway, I do want to say, I don't know what the fuck this means. I don't think the beef between Drake and Meek is squashed because Drake just really did an interview not too long ago kind of saying, hey, I don't really hate the guy too much, but I definitely don't want to be friends with him. Also, definitely keeps dropping lyrics at him. And also, I'm still wondering if that tell you big homie, I'm all for going there again. Is that at Rose or maybe I'm tripping?
I thought that when I heard it, by the way.
Do you think different now or no?
I thought it was either Ross or Hove.
Yeah, I was thinking Ross.
One of those two. Drake sends subs and then he never doubles back to tell us who he was talking to months ago, so we just have to guess.
Yeah.
However, there was this supposed meeting, and this is what I'm hearing from the few sources I have.
YouTube. YouTube sources.
There was a meeting, right, in Miami with Rick Ross, Drake, and supposedly Meek was supposed to be there. Okay, for whatever reason, he didn't show up. Right? Maybe he was clean.
For whatever reason.
He was clean the rollies that day. He didn't show up.
Back to back came out.
He had no
Why
interest.
the fuck am I going to meet with somebody who made back to back?
Yeah, but this is.
I don't want to meet with somebody.
It's been like almost 2 years now. I mean, like you niggas gonna be just having that energy forever?
It's time out. It's been 2 years, and this has been my question. Drake, the #1 hip hop artist, has been dissing Meek, the not #1 hip hop artist, for 2 years. Why?
Okay, that's a good question, but that's also like a question that's on tangent. Let's just stick to this guy right here.
You trying to focus today?
Yeah, I'm
All
trying to
right,
focus, man. Listen, I just don't believe this beef is squashed. I think if anything, this whole meeting was set up because
you're speaking to
Ross needs Drake for them hits, yo. Real talk.
What?
What do you mean what? Ross don't need Drake for them hits? I think if anything, Ross was trying to make sure his relationship with Drake was good because they haven't done music since the beef. And since Meek, and also that there's not anything that's going to spill over into violence between Drake and Meek. They're not going to be cool. They'll never be cool.
So Ross
Drake's
is squashing this beef so he could get Drake on his hooks.
The beef wasn't squashed. Like, where do we see, even if you listen to the interview.
To answer for what Nadeska and I are trying to figure out.
I
want you to answer to Ross is mending this beef with Drake because he needs Drake for hits.
First of all, the beef wasn't mended. Where do we, even if you listen to him,
Do you think Ross needs Drake?
For hits? Yes! He's used them time and time again in the past.
They've collaborated well, but how would Meek feel
because people
about
collaborate,
this?
How would Meek feel?
I can't imagine Ross and Drake doing a song together and Meek's gonna be cool with this and he's still signed with him.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yes,
really?
Yes, really. So let me help you out. Ross and Drake can't record anymore. They cannot record anymore. They can't record anymore. You can't continue to have seemingly such a tight-knit relationship with Meek and record with Drake. You cannot do it.
You would imagine.
Where does your alliances lie? Ross seems like one. I don't know him personally.
Ross is one of them niggas that's just about the money. Like he's like Khaled
but
the
that's
way,
his
like
team. I feel like there's a line
up the money.
And I agree with Nadeska because that is his team, and because he appears to be pretty loyal. I don't think that he's a sellout like that. I think that morality is important to Rick Ross. I don't think that he's just running to Drake. I don't think he's part of that crew that feels like they have to run to Drake to get a hit.
So if he does a song with Drake,
people like you feel like nobody can have a hit.
No, wait. So if he does a song with Drake, he's a sellout.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, he is a sellout.
I
now
think
my
that song
thing
is coming. Sometime,
really?
Maybe not this year, but sooner or later it's coming.
Another bet?
Yeah, they do great.
Khaled,
no, not Khaled. I'm talking about Ross, and Drake. They do great music together.
That is correct. That is an independent point.
Yeah.
You base that on what? Drake does great music with most of the people he does music with. Ross as well. He's one of the best A&Rs we have that's not an A&R. His ear is amazing.
Singles?
What singles has Ross and Drake done that you think is that you think gives Ross this
Aston Martin
feeling?
Music was one of the dopest singles, pretty much to me ever.
That is a timeless record.
Okay.
That's a classic record. I agree with you. I like Drake's solo version of that record, but Ross's version is timeless and classic. Ross has a few of those. Ross has showed us nothing that would make us say, well, people that are informed, he needs somebody else for a hit. Number one, his career is not hit-based. It's not hit-driven. Him, Jeezy, some people, when they put an album out, there's a collective that's going to get that album no matter what happens. Now, Teflon Don, Ross had hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. So some people got used to that, but music changed, the climate changed. His business dealings have changed. I like that I saw Ross at the Wale signing listening party. That speaks to Ross's loyalty to me. You would know Wale's not at the top of the world. Ross is still there. He's still there supporting. I don't think that he's selling out his squad to do a I'm on one, to do a stay scheming. That was great in the time that we had.
What I heard him say in that interview is not that he would be, I don't think he considers that as selling out. I think he wanted to make sure they're at a place where it's not going to escalate. He already chalked it up as rap beefs happen. He's beef with people. I don't believe he'll say, I'll never do a record with that guy because he beefed with my
What would the
artist.
perception be if Ross in 3 months
you,
dropped
Nadeska.
a track with
Thank
Drake?
you.
How would the
Thank you.
world look at him?
Thank you.
You know what? I don't know because and to go on a little tangent like he usually does, like Young Thug and Wayne had some shit and Drake is EP and Young Thug's next like project. So I don't know. I don't know what fans really think.
And I'm confused because Future is on it announced a tour and I saw Tory Lanez on that bill.
Exactly. It's all over the fucking.
It's all a little.
Maybe it's all about the money.
It is all about the money. I'm not mad at that. But when Ross says nine figures, that's a very empty statement to me. Ross, all of us in the world are trying to touch
20
9 figures.
Wingstops. That sounds better to you?
I've never eaten at a Wingstop. But what I'm saying is, does it behoove MMG to reconcile this with Drake? I don't think, nothing I've seen from Meek says I want to reconcile things with Drake. Meek seems like to me,
Wait.
and
You don't
I've
think
never
it
met him.
behooves MMG to reconcile with the biggest artist in the world?
No.
Really?
It just looks
No,
funny now.
listen, I've never met Meek, right? But from his posts, if I have to just try to gauge, he seems like he's dedicated to old codes, old ethics. He's from Philly streets we don't need to touch on, but what's happening in hip hop today versus what Meek thinks should happen. I don't see Meek collaborating with Drake ever again. Ever again. There's a few collaborations I don't ever see happening again. I don't see Ross,
agree with
Drake,
that.
Meek, Drake.
I don't agree with Ross and Drake. I don't agree with Ross.
Well,
and Drake.
We'll see. Time will
All
tell. Do you feel like Ross needs a hit for his career to Ross is solidified, right?
Ross has a great catalog. He's actually
One of the better catalogs in music.
and he
yet
makes
you
some-
still say he needs Drake.
No, just for singles. Because sometimes he gets a little formulaic in singles, like the So Sophisticated joints. He was remaking like those type of joints after I'm a Boss for a while.
Have you
I was
finally
tired of those.
listened to his album?
Yeah, but
The Ty Dolla record,
Okay.
right? I took my roof off at the red light. Always there's
those are
an
dope.
album. See, what I want you to do, and this came from the Wale conversation yesterday, when you listen to an album, and I hate that I keep saying Wale's name. I really
Man, Wale on your ass, man.
listen,
What is Wale mad?
Listen, Wale, you got to come up here and defend yourself. Listen, outside of that, when you listen to an album from an artist, and I'm getting off this, I want you to tell me what song you hear that you think can appeal to the masses. Every Ross album that comes out, there's a few of those. I don't think he needs Drake at all.
All right, so we're gonna see, I guess, Ross and Drake collab coming soon.
But what the fuck does Ross keep telling us about this for? He mentioned it a few times on his album that he tried to squash the Drake Meek thing, and the Drake Meek thing. I believe him. I saw the Breakfast Club interview where they asked him about it, and he was very elusive then as well. I think the fans would like to see great music from them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's three of them on a track. We'll find out.
A lot of those crews or a lot of those collaborations that we saw when I Love Music around 2010, between 2010 and 2013. I don't think we're seeing a lot of those anymore. We have to get used to some new collaborations coming soon.